Hello everyone, this is the video for Avengers. The first part that we're going to be doing starts in measure 29, and notice that it's in A major, so F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. But before we get into that, let's tune. Here's your A. Here's your D. G. Your C. Okay, here's your E. Okay, to get started, you can play along, everyone, with some parts. I'm going to give some specific instructions for our bass player, and it mostly has to do with the dynamics and the articulation. So what I say, except for fingerings, is going to apply to everyone in these specific measures. Again, follow along even if it's not your instrument. Here's measure 29, and notice how everyone, we start with a forte and come down to a mezzo forte in the measure. Okay? 1, 2, ready, and. Then for crescendo. Accent, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, then down bow. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop right there to turn my teacher page. And I'm going to skip you ahead to talk specifically to Woody, the fingerings, on measure 44. That's where you have that little bit of the melody, which is super awesome. Oh, well, let me go back. Let's go to measure 39, because there's some considerations here to catch a G sharp, and this will help everyone who has this rhythm. So at 39, here's what you've got. 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, I hope you watched those fingers right there. Woody, I'm just going to give you some specific instructions now. When you get to measure 40, shift up on the last note to second finger. That's just a suggestion. Because that's just a nice half-step relationship right there that you can play that C sharp and then get that B. Here's the part that I told you to watch out for. When you get to measure 42, make sure that you're playing that A and then G sharp, okay, in half position. And then you start that happiness all over again. Going into measure 44, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I would suggest reaching all the way in that position with your first finger on the C sharp, because you're not going to be able to get the D sharp that's part of the accidental without starting in first finger. And then you shift back. You can do that with 1, 2, or you can do that with 2, 4, however you want to do it, and then that goes on. Okay? Everyone else who has this figure, this rhythm appears for the first violins in measure 30, measure 34 as well for first violins, for cello and bass in measure 40, and cello and bass again in measure 44. Aren't you glad you have the melody so many times? Cello again, measure 48, and that, and of course first violins upper and lower part in measure 48. So this is the rhythm that I want you guys to clap with me. 1, 2, and 1, okay? Or 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Let's count the subdivisions. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. The end of that rhythm might have changed depending on what measure you were looking at, but make sure that you start 2, 3, and 1. Okay. Also to note with that is that you need to start with an up bow accented, so lots of weight into that note. So here we go. This is the bass part. I measured 44, but the rhythm should work wherever you are. Just do an up bow with me. Up, down, okay? Make sure that you've got that on your instrument. Okay, again, ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Make sure that you get a good accent on every single one of those notes, or it's not the Avengers, it's not fantastical. One thing I forgot to mention about all of these really cool dynamics, this includes everyone at the last 3 measures. Something that you can do to change your dynamics really well is go closer to the bridge to get louder and farther away from the bridge to get softer. And you don't have to feel like you're pushing and pulling. My teachers have taught me something very cool where you just basically angle your bow the direction that you want to go, and depending on which direction you're going, either up bow or down bow. Let me just illustrate it. Last 3 measures. For the basses, you have to get a crescendo, right? So, okay, I need to angle my bow on a down bow so that when I play the down bow, it's going closer towards my fingerboard. I'm sorry, I should have said that it was a D crescendo first, right? Everyone sees this, the last 3 measures. Down bow, and then up bow. The reason why I'm illustrating this on the bass is you can easily see how I'm traveling the different lanes because the way my bow is angled. Again, this is not the normal correct bowing that we're doing. We're giving it a little bit more of a tilt so that as we draw our bow across the string, that it heads the right direction. I'm having a hard time with this thing. I need a rock stop, but I'm almost done with the bass, so bear with me. Here's the F sharp. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 4, hard accent. Okay. Again, with the hard accents, go back maybe a couple measures from that. Notice how you have those little hats. They kind of look like upside down up bows. Just as hard of accents as you can with good tone. Remember, carve in and out of the string rather than press down. Okay, that does it for the bass. Woody, you can sign off right now and you're good to go. A couple of notes for the cello. Besides that rhythm, some fingerings that I thought might be helpful for you to know is on the second to last note, so I'm like 3 measures away from the end. Make sure that you're playing that F sharp with a high 4, or like I like to call it an extended 4, okay? This is the position again, finger level with the eyes, second finger level with the nose, pinky level with the lips, and then thumb in the ear. That's the finger positions that you're going to use most of the time here, and I'm going to talk about that again. So, for the second to last note, that F sharp, rather than tune that with me here, okay? Make sure you got that right. Alright, cello's going back to measure 44. Something that you're going to need to do to be able to reach that high D sharp is you're going to go, you're going to start with second finger. Okay, so the reason why you're doing that high D sharp is so that your 4th finger is also high, or that your C sharp right here with second finger, so D sharp is your 4th finger. Anyway, you know the rest. Okay. Okay. Going back even farther, measure 37. When you get to this spot, make sure that you prepare. Write yourself a note right now that first note in 37, the D, should be played with 1st finger. And it's not just a D, it's a D sharp, right? position is kind of hard to find. It's like upper third position. The way that I find this is that I play the E on my D string, and then that's going to be your second finger up here on the A string. Tune that. Then you know where your first finger is, okay? That's going to need to be practiced a lot in order to reach these notes in the tempo that they have. Also, first violins, you should be paying attention to measure 37. Violas, you should also be paying attention to this rhythm of 37. Okay? Your notes aren't going to sound exactly like that. That's just the cello notes. But it's 1 and a 3. 1 and a 3. How is it going? I don't know. Okay, we can do any rhythm there. The Avengers. The Avengers. Again, clap this beat. The Avengers. The Avengers. This goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here's the rhythm. The Avengers. Okay? That's the rhythm right there for you guys. And it seems that your fingerings, first violin and viola, should be enough that you can figure that out. Okay, I think I got everything for you cellos. Just remember to add on what we talked about with dynamics as well. So cellos, you can sign off. That's it for you. Way to go. All right, we're gonna jump to second violins. And probably for the rest of the video, second violins and first violins and violas, just kind of hang on because you have a lot of the same stuff happening here. In fact, you already got some of the great rhythms that I wanted to teach you. Let's jump to, well, since we're talking about this rhythm and since we're talking about this part, not one of you guys, so I'm going to silence it. First violins. Let's actually jump to you guys at measure 47. You may notice, like, whoa, it gets really high. It's not as high as you think, okay? So you have F sharp, which is, you know, it's labeled sharp, but it's been in the key signature for like half the song now already. So it's first finger, F sharp. And then to reach this next note, you just have to shift a little bit forward. Okay, fourth finger right there. Make sure you label that note. That's a C sharp, right? C sharp. And then to your B. Again, you can match that right here. There it is. Notice how I've got a little bit of space right here. C's, B. So here it is again. I bet I might as well play the upper part. Here it is, violins. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and 1. And then you can go 2, 2, 1, and then shift back. Okay, that's that. Just checking my time. Whoop, 13 minutes already. You guys have been here for forever, and we haven't gotten to the hardest part yet. Okay, 29. Second violins, you have this, and first violins have something like this later on, and violas, you all have this, where you see that you have a tremolo, like I introduced to you last time. Okay? Whoops, where'd it go? Tremolo, looking for you. There you are. Okay, you can see the second violins have a tremolo on each of those notes right there. I really dislike that marking because it's not true. A tremolo would be like a lot of notes within that space. But here's the way that we're going to do this, guys. Everyone who has that, just do 2 notes for every note that's listed. Again, only 2 notes for every note that's listed. So for the first part on measure 29, second violins, you have an A and an F sharp. Remember, you can play A with 4th finger, and I highly recommend that you do. Pay attention, violas and violins. Whenever you can reach these fingers on the same string, it's so much the easier. Okay, so if we just do the notes as written, as if there was no tremolo, it would sound like this. And I would highly recommend that you do that because sometimes you play 2 A's in a row, but when you start, you have to play 1 A in a row. So first, your brain's going to have to take a moment to wrap around that. Secondly, after you've played all of your 8th note parts like that, like straight 8th notes, then I would highly recommend that you just double and stop. See, and I even messed up my bow right there because every single 8th note that's written should start with a down bow, right? Because it's an even number if you do 2 for each one. Remember when we did the Suzuki variation where I told you just to bounce back and it's all in the wrist? This is what I was preparing you for, okay? So it's da-da, 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 da-da. It should feel like you're kind of bouncing a ball because every bounce has a rebound. Okay. Let's talk fingerings now. Second violins, that fingering should serve you for a good long while. 4, 2, 2, 4, 4. Let's jump to violas. We're going to go in chronological order from now on. So let's go to violas. This is measure 36. The next thing I have for you is just to note that you're going to go from a high 2 to a low 2. All right, here's F sharp. Let's see. Okay, just high 2, low 2. As clean as you can make that without any slurs would be appreciated. And that's going to be part of the melody for you guys. Exciting stuff. Now that I'm on that measure 36, first violins. This is pretty much the first part that you get in on this action. And your 2 notes are going to be C sharp and G. Unfortunately, we can't do this on the same string or else it'd be a huge stretch for your fingers. So you're going to have to practice this one. This one is going to take the most practice. Anyone who has this technique where you're going to play second finger, high second finger on one string and high third finger on the other. Yeah, right string. Okay, tune that with me right now. Here's second finger. And then here's third finger. C's. And that low G sharp. Not low G sharp, it's really a high 3. Okay, here's what it should sound like when you're done. You're going to have some work to do on the bow to just change in between that. Again, that's why it's important to do one at a time. Okay? And then doubles. Remember when you're doing doubles that everything starts at a down bow. So it's going to have to be a little bit more of an elevation to get to that string to do a down bow on it. Okay, going right along, we're going to jump to measure 39. 39, all of you have what we've been talking about here, where you're doing these notes. And I'm going to jump now to viola again, because that technique that I just shared of having a high 2 and a high 3, and you're going to have to cross strings, that applies directly to you. However, these are your notes that I'd like you to tune to. Let me get situated first. Okay, you're going to play your F sharp, and then you're going to play your low C sharp. I love this instrument. I don't know if it's just because it's a viola or it's just a really nice instrument, but I got this from the school and it sounds so amazing. All right, by the way, there you go. 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. And then notice how you're going to start changing fingerings, okay? I'm going to just pluck this out. You know how it sounds because I just demonstrated it for you. But it's going to go 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. Notice how you're going straight to a D now. And then you got a low 1. And then you have a 3. And then you have this pattern again. So everyone, notice in these measures that we're changing chords in just a short bit of time. It's not as long of a ride as it may have been before. Speaking of which, let's jump forward. Second violins, you know what you've got because I just explained it. It's just the same as what you had before. However, you do have some finger changes. And I kind of wish that everyone had this as their part because it's such a good exercise for chromatics. Chromatics just means half steps. So you're going to start your part just like you did before with A. And second finger for F sharp. And then notice how in the half of measure 42, you all of a sudden have like a new note, two new notes. Both of them shifted up a half step. So check this out. I just shifted my fingers forward. And then, well, I played way too much because the next measure, you shift up another half step. It would be good for you to check all these notes against ones that you know how to play. So like here, C sharp. Then you'd play it with fourth finger. Basically, what I'm telling you is for these few measures here from 39 till 43, the end of 43, is play it 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. Because again, the more you can play it on the same string, the less trouble you're going to have with string crossings. You be the judge, though. Get these notes in tune as smart music as best as you can. And then you're going to shift to third finger. This is just your normal D, right? In first position. And then right here, you can shift again. Oh, no, not shift. You're just going to do a high 3. And notice how I'm breaking apart each of these new positions, each of these new fingerings. That's exactly what you should do. First, play it single, then play it double. And even before that, just pluck it out, single, okay? Moving right along, second violins, you have that funky 2-3 thing again, C's. This is measure 46. All right, measure 39. First violins, second violins, measure 47. You have the same thing going on right here. You're gonna go, you can play this as a 4-1-2. Get my F sharp in tune. And then your F sharp, your C sharp in tune. F, C. And then play a low 2 here. And then you can play a high 2 here. Then a low 2 again. And then you can go right across the string in the same position and play 1 for that G sharp. And then play an open. And then play that same G sharp again in first position with your high 2. And that'll set you up for this next measure. And then obviously this can be done with 4. Notice how I did that low 1 for the G or the F natural. Okay, and I've already explained every other fingering, so you should have everything in this video that you can rewind to and be able to play with. Guys, I hope you have fun with this song. Let's play this in tribute to all the first responders and all the great heroes in our own families and lives that are working really hard for us right now and keeping us calm and keeping us safe. Stay in there. It's going to be okay. Talk to you later. Bye.